He needs to stop walking. I ain't the one walking. Let's get Tom and put this back on. Let's go again.
Welcome to WatchMojoUK, and today we're looking at fights that broke out on film and TV sets.
I mean, Ridley pushes everybody. He tends to concentrate on all aspects of the frame.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.
For this list, we'll be looking at British sets, or incidents involving British performers, or both. Productions can be stressful, but for these entries, the people involved reached boiling point. Anderson talks too real, Clive Anderson talks back, and Clive Anderson all talk.
Because that's perhaps the most distinctive thing now, that high-pitched...
Oh, the falsetto!
That's it, yes, yeah. Were you working with Mickey Mouse at the time?
We kick off with two kick-offs on two sets with one host. Clive Anderson gained recognition as the original host of improv comedy show Whose Line Is It Anyway? But using that same off-the-cuff wit to his talk shows, Clive Anderson Talks Back and successor All Talk, certainly raised eyebrows. Although Anderson's disdain seemed to be ahead of the curve when interviewing a pre-convicted Jeffrey Archer, maybe not so much with the Bee Gees. Anderson's claim that they were hit writers was followed with...
We're one letter shy, but anyway, this...
which he later admitted as a bad line. It continued downhill, turning to jokes about their former name, Les Tosseurs, and wordplay over forgetting a song.
Before we became the Bee Gees, we were late tossers.
Yes.
Which we thought was...
You'll always be late tossers to me, but I don't know.
Already seething, the band walked.
In fact, I might just leave.
Yeah. Oh, I've never had anyone walk out before, but...
we are a tosser, pal. So anyway... everybody.
Tom's Temper, Doctor Who.
Would you like a chili, baby?
For many, Tom Baker's run is still regarded as the classic of classic Who. The longest on-screen iteration, Baker's fourth Doctor had 7 series. However, over that, the actor was so protective of his character, wanting and gaining more control over the scripts and the overall direction of the Time Lord.
You may be a doctor, but I'm the doctor. The definite article, you might say.
Some believe that the departure of Sarah Jane actress Elizabeth Sladen was the turning point. Naturally, he gained a reputation as being somewhat prickly, which led to a lot of on-set spats with writers, producers, and often new directors. Ultimately, it was new producer and showrunner John Nathan Turner that won out, with creative differences leading to Baker's departure after one series with him. To his credit, Baker has reiterated his regret over his confrontational behaviour on set.
Who knows? Who knows?
Ridley Scott alienates his cast. Alien. 1979's Alien was a baptism by fire for Ridley Scott. It was Scott's second film, and so there was a lot at stake for the British director. Despite constantly under scrutiny from producers, Scott was insistent on getting things his way.
I wanted them to be afraid, and that's why I never show them Alien.
His style was immediately apparent. Sets and suits were built to be legitimately claustrophobic, even leading to injuries. And he'd often keep actors in the dark over how some scenes would play out.
I can remember John being very, very unhappy about... I think he found it pretty claustrophobic. Shut up in the helmet.
One infamous example is the chestburster scene, in which animal blood was used. Vanessa Cartwright passed out, and Yaphet Kotto refused to speak to anyone for hours. It didn't please many at the time, but all agree his abrasive direction made Alien a classic.
He punched his fist right through the ceiling of the bridge in just sheer frustration.
The Mac Bust-Up, Game of Thrones. Our next entry is the Battle of the Burgers.
In all my days, I've never seen a man swing an axe like that.
Although Ian McShane's role as Brother Ray was only for one episode, the veteran actor's involvement changed a huge part of the production, the catering. But it came about in a rather tense moment on set, as McShane, disgruntled at the quality of his lunch, kicked his burger patty right onto Rory McCann's lap. McCann was returning as the Hound, Sandor Clegane.
I think some of the men are a bit afraid of you.
Let's not forget that he is a towering 6 feet 6 inches, a scary Scottish bloke even without the makeup. They had an exchange of words, with McShane ultimately apologising for the mishap, and then had a better lunch in the following days.
If the gods are real, why haven't they punished me?
Tony Bellew versus who? Creed. The details around this incident are a little sketchy, but chances are it is a case of no smoke without fire.
I've never lost. I've never even been knocked down, and that's not going to change.
Initially, it was rumoured that legit boxer turned actor, then WBC cruiserweight champion Tony Bellew, had struck his cornerman during filming of Creed, forcing series creator Sylvester Stallone's intervention. Bellew denied this, but reportedly did storm up to co-star Malik Bazile over his apparent yelling of unnecessary directions during a fight scene. They were swiftly separated, but the worst part was that Bazile hadn't actually said a word. It was likely director Ryan Coogler giving, well, directions during a long production day that led to mistaken identity. Bazile insists there's no hard feelings, just as well, since Michael B. Jordan can attest to Bellew's power.
Hard with the right cross and backs Creed into the ropes.
Ref, come on!
Keep it clean!
Mad Max and Furious Furiosa, Mad Max Fury Road. South African actress Charlize Theron and British actor Tom Hardy killed it in Mad Max Fury Road, but on set they nearly killed each other. Such was the tension between the two lead actors during filming. On one occasion, an argument broke out over Hardy deliberately turning up late, knowing Theron was early that day. The Furiosa actress, provoked, swore in earshot of Hardy, and he marched up to her. From then, the actress admitted feeling scared, with a producer flown out to keep things civil.
You want that thing off your face?
They've both addressed this since, with Hardy acknowledging that he had a lot to learn, and Theron's reflection that neither of them were handling the filming very well. However, the differences between the two lauded actors are apparent on screen.
What do I call you?
Does it matter?
Carry on as if singer really matters. Bohemian Rhapsody. It was a multi-award-winning film, but was also the beginning of the end for director Bryan Singer. While he retains credit as director of Bohemian Rhapsody, in actuality, he only filmed about 70% of it, amid frequent lateness and a myriad of complaints on set. Then he stopped turning up altogether, halting the British production over claims that his mother was unwell.
Goodbye, everybody. I've got to go.
Ultimately, Singer's heated arguments with lead actor Rami Malek, who would win an Academy Award for his portrayal of Freddie Mercury, and the director's behaviour caused so much tension on set that veteran actor Tom Hollander walked.
Legally, no.
Despite being uncredited, Dexter Fletcher is believed to have saved the biopic, bringing Hollander back and completing filming. Meanwhile, Singer was sacked, and his reputation is now catching him up.
It's my business. This is my business.
Lawless infighting, Lawless. Before learning his lessons on Mad Max, Tom Hardy's confrontational nature appeared on another set.
You want to get into this racket. But I see you sitting there looking like somebody's punching bag. So I ask you, what do you intend to do now?
Although he now jokes that Lawless co-star Shia LaBeouf knocked him out, the truth has a bit of weight to it. During filming of Lawless, the two actors allegedly did get into a physical confrontation, during which they had to be pulled apart before punches were thrown. Hardy is an actor known for his commitment, putting on a huge amount of muscle for roles, as well as being an MMA enthusiast, with several wins in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu competitions to his name. So maybe he is being kind to say that the smaller LaBeouf could fell him, as all involved believed that it would be a very nasty outcome had no one intervened.
Are you public enemy number one now? I was just trying to make sure.
Bale lights up. Terminator Salvation. Tom Hardy himself admitted that fellow Brit actor Christian Bale isn't a man to cross. Leaked audio from the set of 2008's Terminator Salvation demonstrated both Bale's sheer intensity and what happens if you do earn his ire.
I was looking at the light.
Oh, good for you!
As director of photography Shane Hurlbut learned, you shouldn't muck about with the lighting when Bale is performing, and especially not in his eye line.
Stay off the set, man.
An 8-minute, foul-mouthed, angry rant from Bale nearly escalated into a physical fight before calmness was restored.
I wanna kick your ass. You know, shut up for a second, alright?
At the time, Bale's reputation took a hit, and he even publicly apologised to Hurlbut, although the two had already completely made up. Hindsight is 2020 though, as reports have emerged that actually Hurlbut has a reputation for disrupting actors at work, vindicating Bale somewhat. Cruising for a verbal bruising. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. To say that Tom Cruise is passionate about movies would be an understatement. Not even a global pandemic would stop his filming the 7th Mission Impossible, although he was adamant about it being shot safely. Since COVID restrictions were still observed in London, the actor and producer would ensure that all guidelines and rules were followed, even checking equipment was COVID safe before rolling.
We are not shutting this movie down!
In December 2020, audio emerged of his on-set fury.
I don't ever want to see it again! Ever!
Noticing several crew members not adhering to the social distancing rules, Cruise went ballistic, furiously yelling at them in front of everyone.
The second outburst reportedly led to 5 crew members resigning from the production, with the source adding, quote, "Tension has been building for months, and this was the final straw."
Although it's arguable that he went a little overboard, it is Tom Cruise after all, he wasn't wrong, as any infraction of the COVID rules would have definitely, in his words, shut them down. Are there any behind-the-scenes fracas that you are aware of? Let us know in the comments below.
How many meters is that? When people are standing around a computer and hanging out around here, what are you doing?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojoUK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.